Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of US coins, focusing on a particular piece of history that could be sitting in your collection or even hidden in your spare change. Yes, we're talking about the 1966 Lincoln penny, an often overlooked coin that could be worth a small fortune, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why it's so special. The Lincoln penny, a coin so familiar to Americans, has been part of the landscape of U.S. currency for over a century. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln penny commemorated the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and since then, it has become one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history. The design has evolved over the years, but in 1966, the Lincoln penny was still sporting the well-known reverse image of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in circulation since 1959. This timeless design, along with the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, is one of the main reasons why the Lincoln penny continues to be cherished by collectors. But when it comes to the 1966 Lincoln penny, it's not just the design that matters, it's the details that set it apart from the others. While the 1966 Lincoln penny wasn't minted in any significantly limited quantities or with any monumental changes to the design, there are a number of factors that make this coin highly collectible. One of those factors is the condition of the coin itself. As with all coins, the state of preservation plays a huge role in determining its value. If you have a 1966 Lincoln penny that looks like it's fresh from the mint, you might just be holding onto something special. Coins that have been circulated for a long time, especially pennies, often show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and fading, which lower their value. But coins that have been carefully preserved or are in near-mint condition are far rarer, and collectors are always on the lookout for these pristine examples. A 1966 penny in uncirculated condition is much more valuable than one that's been passed around in daily use, and finding such a coin is like stumbling upon a hidden gem. Now, let's take a deeper look at the 1966 penny and why it could be more valuable than you might think. When you examine a coin from this era, the year it was minted, and its mint mark, you'll begin to see the pieces of the puzzle that give it its true value. The 1966 Lincoln penny was minted at multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, the mint mark on the coin is especially important because it tells you where the coin was made, and certain mint marks are more desirable to collectors. While the 1966 Lincoln penny isn't an extremely rare coin in the traditional sense, there are some specific traits that can increase its value dramatically. Minting errors, in particular, are one of the most exciting aspects of collecting coins. With the 1966 Lincoln penny, there are a few different types of errors that collectors go crazy over. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1966 penny is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin doesn't align perfectly, causing certain elements of the design, such as the date or the lettering, to appear doubled. If you happen to find a 1966 penny with a double die, you could be holding a very rare and highly valuable coin. These types of errors make a coin far more collectible, and in many cases, they can drive the price of the coin up considerably. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the coin isn't perfectly aligned with the press that strikes it. This causes the design to appear off-center or misaligned. The more extreme the off-center strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. So, if you come across a 1966 penny with a noticeable off-center strike, you may have a coin that is worth far more than its face value. So, just how much can a 1966 Lincoln penny be worth? The answer to this question depends on a few key factors: the condition of the coin, any errors it may have, and how rare that specific coin is in the marketplace. Typically, a 1966 penny in average circulated condition is worth only a few cents above face value. However, the value increases significantly if the coin is in uncirculated condition, free from any scratches, discoloration, or wear. An uncirculated 1966 penny in excellent condition might fetch anywhere from $5 to $15. But here's where things get really interesting. When it comes to rare minting errors or unique variations, the value of a 1966 Lincoln penny can skyrocket. A penny with a double die or a significant off-center strike could be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. In fact, a 1966 Lincoln penny with a rare and distinctive minting error could easily be worth up to $90,000, yes, you read that correctly, $90,000. For a single penny. It's truly incredible to think that a coin as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could hold such incredible value. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. What may appear to be a run-of-the-mill penny can sometimes turn out to be a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever imagined. If you find a 1966 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, or better yet, a coin with a rare minting error, it's worth checking with a professional coin appraiser or even submitting it to a coin grading service to find out just how much it could be worth. A coin in mint condition with a unique error could fetch a price in the tens of thousands of dollars, making it an incredibly lucrative find for anyone lucky enough to come across one. So, next time you're going through your coin collection or checking your spare change, keep an eye out for the 1966 Lincoln penny. If it's in excellent shape or has one of the rare minting errors, you could be looking at a potential goldmine. Today, we're about to uncover the hidden value of a coin that many people overlook, the 1960 Lincoln penny. While this might seem like a coin that's no different from any other penny, trust me, it's far more interesting and valuable than you might think. Stick with us, and we'll dive deep into its history, its design, and most importantly, how much this little coin could actually be worth today. The 1960 Lincoln penny is a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage, one that's often overlooked in the larger scope of American currency. But as you'll discover, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. It was minted during a period of great change in the United States. The 1960s were a time of economic growth, social movements, and political upheaval. This period also saw important shifts in the design of U.S. currency, with coins and bills being updated to reflect the times. The 1960 Lincoln penny, like its predecessors, features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words, "In God We Trust," encircling his portrait. The reverse, however, is where things get interesting. The coin features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced to the reverse of the penny in 1959. This image of the memorial stands as a symbol of the unity and strength of the United States, paying tribute to Lincoln's legacy as one of the most revered figures in American history. But there's more to the 1960 Lincoln penny than just its design. The year 1960 was a transitional year for U.S. coins. This was the year when the U.S. Mint began transitioning from using the large cent to the smaller-sized coins we're familiar with today. And although the 1960 Lincoln penny was not a part of a major redesign, the coin did experience some changes in its minting process, which has made it an intriguing piece for collectors today. One of the most important things to note about the 1960 penny is the mint mark. The mint mark indicates where the coin was minted, and it's a key piece of information when determining the value of a coin. The 1960 penny was minted in multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and the mint mark can be found near the bottom of the reverse side of the coin. A D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, while a S mint mark means it was minted in San Francisco. A penny without a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. The mint mark can have a significant impact on a coin's value, especially if it's one of the rarer varieties. Now, let's talk about the rarity and value of the 1960 Lincoln penny. Most of the pennies minted in 1960 were produced in large quantities, meaning they're not particularly rare in general circulation. However, as with any coin, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Most of the 1960 pennies you come across today are in poor to average condition, which means they're worth only a few cents above their face value. But what if you come across a 1960 penny that looks pristine, or even better, one with a rare minting error? That's where things get exciting. In 1960, there were some notable errors in the minting process, and these errors make the coin highly desirable to collectors. One of the most famous errors from this year is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing certain details, such as the date or the lettering, to appear doubled or blurry. If you come across a 1960 penny with a noticeable double die error, you might have a very valuable coin on your hands. These types of errors are highly sought after by collectors, and they can dramatically increase the coin's value. Another rare variety of the 1960 penny is the small date and large date variety. The 1960 penny was struck in two different versions, one with a small date and one with a large date. The small date version was the first to be minted, but due to the popularity of the larger date, the mint quickly switched to a larger version. The small date pennies are much rarer than the large date variety, and as a result, they tend to fetch a much higher price. So, how much could your 1960 Lincoln penny be worth? It all depends on the coin's condition, the mint mark, and whether it has any errors or rare features. A standard, circulated 1960 penny in good condition might be worth just a few cents. However, if you happen to find a 1960 penny in mint condition, it could be worth around $1 to $5. But the value can really skyrocket if your coin has one of the rare minting errors we discussed earlier, such as the double die or small date variety. In these cases, the coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right collector. Now, let's talk about the real potential value of a rare 1960 Lincoln penny. If you come across a well-preserved, error-free 1960 penny, or one that features a significant minting flaw, the value can easily reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. But hold on, here's where it gets truly astonishing. Some of the rarest 1960 pennies, especially those with double die errors or the small date variety, can be worth as much as $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but the coin collecting world is full of surprises like this. A coin that's been in circulation for decades, unnoticed by most people, could be worth an extraordinary amount of money if it has the right characteristics. If you're lucky enough to have a 1960 Lincoln penny in your collection, or you find one while going through your spare change, make sure to check the condition, look for minting errors, and see if you have a coin that could be worth a small fortune. You never know, that seemingly ordinary penny could turn out to be a treasure worth much more than you ever imagined. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1981 Lincoln penny. Now, you might be wondering, why is a simple penny from 1981 so special? Well, stick around because this seemingly humble coin holds a world of value for the right collector, and you might just have one of these hidden treasures in your own collection. First, let's take a trip back to 1981. The United States was experiencing a pivotal moment in its economic and political history. Ronald Reagan had just been sworn in as president, and the country was dealing with the effects of stagflation and high unemployment. But despite the challenges, the economy was beginning to shift as Reagan's administration implemented tax cuts and deregulation. These were the years of big change, and the coins circulating at the time reflect the spirit of the nation during this era. The 1981 Lincoln penny, like all pennies before it, features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side of the coin. Lincoln's image has been gracing the penny since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. On the reverse side, you'll find the classic design of the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959. The memorial is an enduring symbol of Lincoln's legacy and represents the strength and unity of the United States. But why should a coin minted in 1981 capture your attention today? The answer lies in its rarity, its condition, and the subtle details that make certain 1981 pennies far more valuable than others. Let's explore the aspects that make this particular coin a potential goldmine for collectors. Point one: of the most important things to consider when determining a coin's value is its minting process. The U.S. Mint is known for producing millions of coins each year, but most of these are circulated widely, which means they lose their value over time. When it comes to the 1981 Lincoln penny, this is where the story gets interesting. While most of these coins are not rare by themselves, there are certain factors that make some of them incredibly valuable. The first thing to consider is the condition of the coin. Most 1981 pennies you'll come across will show signs of wear and tear, especially those that have been circulating for decades. Coins that have been used in daily transactions are typically not worth more than face value. However, the real treasure lies in the well-preserved specimens, those that have been carefully stored, protected, and kept in excellent condition. These coins are far more valuable than their worn counterparts, especially when they are graded as uncirculated or mint state. A coin's grade is determined by its physical appearance, including the amount of wear it has experienced. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are graded as MS65, mint state 65, or higher are considered to be in excellent condition and can fetch a much higher price in the market. For a 1981 Lincoln penny, a coin in mint condition can be worth significantly more than the standard 1 cent, sometimes even hundreds of dollars. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. If you look closely at a 1981 penny, you'll notice a small letter beneath the date that indicates where the coin was minted. A D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, while a S mint mark indicates the coin was minted in San Francisco. A penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. The mint mark can play an important role in the value of a coin, especially when it comes to rarer varieties. While the 1981 penny wasn't part of any major design changes or minting errors, there are still certain factors that can increase its value. The U.S. Mint struck these coins in large numbers, and over time, coins from certain years can become harder to find in good condition. This is especially true if there's a particular variety of coin that stands out, whether it's due to the minting process or a specific issue that occurred during production. In fact, one of the reasons why certain 1981 pennies are so valuable today is because they were simply produced in such large quantities. Coins that were once seen as common and unremarkable can, over time, become rare, especially if fewer of them are preserved. Another critical factor to consider is whether there are any minting errors on the coin. Minting errors occur when there's a mistake during the production process, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-center strikes. These errors can make a coin unique, and collectors are always on the lookout for such anomalies. A 1981 penny with an error could be worth much more than one without any flaws. While error coins are rare, they can sometimes bring in substantial amounts of money at auction, depending on the nature of the error and the coin's condition. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: just how much could your 1981 Lincoln penny be worth? While the vast majority of these coins are worth only face value, there are certain factors that could lead to a windfall for you as a collector. If your 1981 penny is in mint condition, free from scratches or wear, it could be worth several dollars. However, if you're lucky enough to have one of the rare error varieties, or if it has a particularly low mintage, the value of your coin could skyrocket. For example, a 1981 penny that is perfectly preserved and free from any damage could fetch anywhere from $20 to $50, depending on the specific condition and grading. But here's where it gets truly exciting: if you happen to have a 1981 penny with a rare minting error, the value can go up significantly. Collectors have been known to pay top dollar for error coins, especially if they're in excellent condition. And now, for the big reveal: how much could the rarest, most pristine 1981 Lincoln penny be worth? If you have a well-preserved 1981 penny in mint condition, or one that's been graded as MS65 or higher, and it has a rare minting error or unique feature, your coin could be worth an incredible $70,000. That's right, $70,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible. A simple penny from 1981 could turn out to be worth a small fortune if it has the right characteristics. So, the next time you go through your spare change or come across an old penny, make sure to take a closer look. You just might have a hidden treasure on your hands. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1968 Lincoln penny. This coin may seem simple at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1968 Lincoln penny holds great value for collectors, and you might be surprised to learn how much it could be worth if you find one in the right condition. To understand the significance of the 1968 penny, let's first take a look at the historical context of the year itself. The 1960s were a time of immense social, political, and economic change in the United States. The country was in the middle of the civil rights movement, with protests and movements for equality and justice growing across the nation. The U.S. was also deep into the Vietnam War, which brought its own set of challenges. Meanwhile, the economy was booming, and the baby boomer generation was coming of age. In 1968, the U.S. was at a crossroads, facing both progress and turmoil. But what does all of this have to do with the 1968 Lincoln penny? Well, this coin reflects the moment in time when these larger events were unfolding. The penny itself, while a small denomination, carries a sense of timelessness and represents an era of growth and change. It's been a part of everyday life for millions of Americans, circulating in pockets, purses, and cash registers across the country. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1968 Lincoln penny. On the obverse, or front side, you'll see the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909, and his face continues to be one of the most iconic images in U.S. coinage. Lincoln's portrait, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, features him in profile, gazing thoughtfully toward the future. His strong and determined presence on the penny serves as a reminder of the nation's strength and resilience. The reverse side of the 1968 penny features the classic Lincoln Memorial, which was first introduced in 1959. The memorial, which is located in Washington, D.C., honors the 16th President of the United States and symbolizes the unity of the nation. The detailed design shows the memorial's columns, steps, and the statue of Lincoln, creating a powerful image of leadership and freedom. While the design of the 1968 Lincoln penny may not differ dramatically from those of other years, there are several factors that make this particular penny highly sought after by collectors. One of the main reasons the 1968 penny is so interesting is its composition. In 1968, the U.S. Mint began transitioning from the use of 90% silver to a copper-clad composition for its coins. Prior to this year, U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars were made primarily of silver. However, in 1965, the silver content was removed from these coins, and by 1968, even the penny was no longer made of 95% copper. The 1968 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which was a significant change in the coin's composition. While it's not silver, the copper-clad pennies still hold historical importance, as they represent the last of the pre-1970s pennies that were composed of a substantial amount of copper. These pennies are a link to the past and are part of the reason why some 1968 pennies are considered valuable today. But how do you know if your 1968 Lincoln penny is worth anything? As with all coins, the condition of the penny is a critical factor in determining its value. Coins that have been used in everyday transactions tend to show signs of wear and tear. These coins may be scratched, scuffed, or slightly bent from years of circulation. A penny that has been heavily used is generally worth just its face value, 1 cent. However, the value of a 1968 penny increases dramatically if it is in excellent condition. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are far more valuable to collectors. These pennies may have been kept in a safe place, stored away from the wear and tear of circulation. A coin that has been well preserved could be graded as uncirculated or mint state, meaning it has little to no signs of damage, discoloration, or wear. An uncirculated 1968 Lincoln penny can fetch significantly more than a coin in typical circulated condition. If you have a 1968 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, it could be worth several dollars to a collector. The rarer the coin and the better its condition, the higher the price it can command. But the 1968 penny really stands out when it comes to its unique features and the occasional minting errors that make certain specimens highly desirable. Like other coins from this era, the 1968 penny is also subject to potential minting errors. These errors can make a coin even more valuable. Examples of minting errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, and misalignments. A minting error occurs when something goes wrong during the coin's production, leading to a defect or unusual feature. For example, a double strike occurs when a coin is struck more than once, creating a blurry or doubled image. Similarly, an off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting machine, resulting in a coin that looks slightly misaligned. If you find a 1968 penny with a minting error, it could be worth much more than a typical coin from that year. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors, and some can command prices far beyond what you might expect for a normal penny. Depending on the error and the coin's condition, these pennies can be worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: just how much is the rarest, most pristine 1968 Lincoln penny worth? While most of these coins are not worth much more than their face value, a penny that is in excellent, uncirculated condition, or even one with a rare minting error, could be worth an astounding $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000 for a single penny. If you happen to come across a 1968 penny in perfect condition, or one with a rare error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, the next time you go through your spare change or old coin collections, be sure to take a closer look. You never know, you might just have a hidden gem on your hands. Today, we're about to embark on an exciting journey into the world of one of the most iconic American coins, the 1961 Lincoln penny. If you thought pennies were just low-value coins, think again. This particular penny is far more valuable than you might expect. Not only does it carry the rich history of the United States, but it's also sought after by serious coin collectors, and for good reason. Stick around to discover how much this small but mighty coin could be worth. Let's start with a quick look at the historical context of the 1961 penny. The early 1960s were a time of major change in the U.S. The nation was at the height of the post-World War II economic boom. The economy was growing, and Americans were enjoying a new level of prosperity. This was also a time of significant social change, as the civil rights movement was gaining momentum. The 1960s marked a transformative period in U.S. history, and the penny from this era carries with it the spirit of that transformation. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner, and its design has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The obverse side features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which remains one of the most recognizable images in U.S. currency. The reverse, which originally featured the wheat stalks, changed in 1959 to depict the Lincoln Memorial, an enduring symbol of the nation's ideals and values. Now, the 1961 penny might seem like just another year in the long history of the Lincoln cent, but it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors for several reasons. To understand why, we need to dig a bit deeper into the composition of this coin. The 1961 penny, like all pennies minted between 1909 and 1982, is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This made the 1961 penny a true copper coin, giving it a distinct look and feel compared to the modern-day pennies, which are primarily made of zinc with a copper coating. Back then, pennies were heavier, and they had a rich, reddish-brown color that collectors found appealing. This composition is also a major factor in why the 1961 penny remains valuable to this day. So, what makes the 1961 Lincoln penny stand out from the rest? One major factor is its relative scarcity in certain conditions. While the 1961 penny was widely circulated at the time, the passage of time has made well-preserved examples harder to come by. As with all coins, the condition of the penny is a huge determinant of its value. A coin that has been used in everyday transactions for years will show signs of wear, such as scratches, dents, and fading. These coins might be worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, the value of a 1961 penny increases dramatically if it is in excellent condition. The key term here is uncirculated or mint state. An uncirculated coin is one that has never been in circulation and shows no signs of wear. These coins are generally free of scratches, scuff marks, or discoloration, making them highly prized by collectors. A 1961 penny that has been well preserved in its original mint condition can be worth far more than its face value. In fact, it can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, but it's not just about condition. There are other factors that influence the value of the 1961 Lincoln penny, such as minting errors. Minting errors are defects that occurred during the production process, and they can make a coin even more valuable. For example, a penny with a doubled die, where the image appears to be doubled or distorted, is considered a rare and highly desirable error coin. Similarly, coins that are struck off-center or those with die cracks or other unique features can fetch much higher prices. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting because they make each coin a unique piece of history. Collectors actively search for these coins because they stand out from the regular, mass-produced coins. So, if you happen to come across a 1961 penny with a minting error, you could be sitting on a very valuable find. It's also important to note that certain varieties of the 1961 penny are more valuable than others. For example, the 1961 D penny, minted in Denver, is particularly sought after by collectors. Some believe that the D mint mark coins, which were produced in smaller quantities, are rarer and therefore more valuable than those minted in Philadelphia. While the 1961 pennies from Philadelphia are also valuable, the ones from Denver are often in higher demand, which can drive up their prices. Now, we get to the most thrilling part, the value of the 1961 Lincoln penny. The price of this penny can vary dramatically depending on its condition, rarity, and any special features like minting errors or varieties. A typical 1961 penny in average circulated condition might be worth only a few cents above its face value, but a coin that is in uncirculated or mint state can be worth far more. So, how much could the rarest, most pristine 1961 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, if you have an uncirculated 1961 penny, or even better, one with a minting error or a unique feature, you could be holding a coin worth an astounding $88,000. Yes, you heard that right, $88,000 for a single penny. This incredible amount may seem unbelievable for a small copper coin, but the rarity and condition of certain 1961 pennies can make them worth far more than you'd expect. So, if you've got an old coin collection or happen to come across a 1961 penny, take a closer look. It could be worth much more than you think. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has inspired you to take a second look at your own collection of coins. Who knows? You might just have a rare 1961 penny hiding in your pocket that could be worth a small fortune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things coin collecting. Until next time, happy hunting, and best of luck in finding your next treasure.